Welcome to Types of Metrics in a Monitoring System. After watching this video, you'll be able to identify important metrics to track in monitoring systems and describe factors that determine which metrics you should monitor. One of the main components of a monitoring system is metrics. Why are metrics important to track? Metrics represent how your applications use resources and provide insight into your system's behavior and health. Important metrics you should track are host-based, application, network and connectivity, and server pool. Metrics tracking can help you plan and analyze your monitoring strategy, since systems usually function hierarchically, with more complex layers building on top of more primitive infrastructure. Host-based metrics measure CPU, memory, disk space, processes. Indicators are anything involving in evaluating the health and performance of an individual machine, disregarding for the moment its application stacks and services. Host-based metrics are mainly comprised of usage or performance of the operating system or hardware. Application metrics focus on units of processing or work that depends on resources like services or applications. The specific types of metrics to look at depends on what the service is providing, what dependencies it has, and what other components it interacts with. Metrics at this level indicate an application's health, performance, or load. Indicators to look for include error and success rates, service failures and restarts, performance and latency of responses, and resource usage. These indicators help determine whether an application is functioning correctly and with efficiency. For most types of infrastructure, network and connectivity indicators are important gauges of outward-facing availability, but they're also essential signs that services are accessible to other machines for any system that span more than one machine. Like other metrics, networks should be checked for their overall functional correctness and their ability to deliver necessary performance by looking at connectivity, error rates and packet loss, latency, and bandwidth utilization. Monitoring your network layer can help you improve the availability and responsiveness of both your internal and external services. When dealing with horizontally scaled infrastructure, server pools are another layer of infrastructure you will need to add metrics for. While metrics about individual servers are useful, service is better represented at scale as the ability of a collection of machines to perform work and respond adequately to requests. This metric type is in many ways just a higher level extrapolation of application and server metrics, but the resources in this case are homogeneous servers instead of machine-level components. Collecting data that summarizes the health of collections of servers is important for understanding the actual capabilities of your system to handle load and respond to changes. Other metrics you may wish to add are those related to external dependencies. These allow you to track your system's interactions with external systems that your application uses. Some dependency services may provide status pages about outages. However, if you track these within your systems, you can identify problems with your providers that may affect your operations. Some items to track at this level are service status and availability, success and error rates, run rate and operational costs, and resource exhaustion. Of course, there are many other types of metrics that can be helpful to collect. Conceptualizing the most important information at varying levels of focus can help you identify the most useful indicators for predicting or identifying problems. A few factors that can affect what you choose to collect and act on are resources available for tracking. Depending on your human resource, infrastructure, and budget, you'll have a limit of scope of what you keep track of to what you can afford to implement and reasonably manage. The complexity and purpose of your application. The complexity of your application or systems can greatly impact what you choose to track. Items that might be mission critical for some software might not be important for others. The deployment environment. While robust monitoring is most important for production systems, staging and testing systems also benefit from monitoring, though there may be differences in severity, granularity, and the overall metrics measured. The potential usefulness of the metric. One of the most important factors affecting whether something is measured is its potential to help in the future. Each additional metric tracked increases the complexity of the system and takes up resources. the necessity of data can change over time as well, requiring reevaluation at regular intervals. How essential stability is. For certain types of personal or early stage projects, stability and uptime might not be priorities. Keep in mind that the factors that influence your decision will depend on your available resources, the maturity of your project, and the level of service you require. In this video, you learned that important metrics you should track are host-based, application, network and connectivity, and server pool. Application metrics focus on units of processing or work that depends on the host-level resources like services or applications. An optional component you may choose to monitor is external dependency metrics, which help with the predicting and identifying problems that may affect your operations. And factors that help you determine which metrics you should monitor include the resources available for tracking, your application's complexity, and how complex your deployment environment is.